Well, be careful what you wish for, boys and girls. One of the more highly anticipated and requested heroes has been the Elemental Wizard, and earlier this week, we got her. So Islander's here and threatens to push Frostbite control to all sorts of new levels, and I gotta be honest, I am super scared of her. A huge shout out to our channel members for supporting what we do here. If you want to get involved with the channel and the Dice Commando community, please consider joining as a channel member. Remember, these videos are only possible with your support. You can show that support with a like, a subscribe, and by leaving us a comment and sharing your feedback. Community first, and go Commando. Hey there, Flesh and Blood folks. Welcome back to Dice Commando and Go Again, a fabulous cast. Thanks for tuning in today. So, very exciting news for a lot of people who've been waiting for this, right? People wanted their new wizard. They specifically wanted the Elemental Wizard. They had all sorts of speculations, but we've got her, right? So earlier this week, we saw the first pictures of Isylander making the rounds. For those of you who watched my unboxing video that went up Wednesday afternoon, I did get a copy of her, which was pretty awesome, along with the playmat from LSS. So thank you, LSS. That's pretty awesome. But man, she's scary. So that's what I wanted to talk about today was, kind of why I'm so scared about her. I mean, she's only a Blitz hero. There's some stuff that keeps her in check, but she's got some potential to be really nasty. So before we get into it, if you're going to be doing some speculation and looking at, what's available with Isylander, actually what I did last night was I went to FabDB and I typed in ice in the search function and they all come up, right? It's a great site to go use to get the info that you need, right? Deck build or whatever you need to do, just look at others' decks and 3D craft. So make sure that if you're playing Fab, you're checking out FabDB. It's a great tool and resource, and it's, like I said, it's what I use. So on top of being a wizard, she has access to ice stuff, right? I mean, it's literally the definition of what she does. But what does she do, Andrew? But what does she do, right? So Essence of Ice. So she is ice only, right? Which it's interesting, right? All the others we'd seen, of course, have been dual essence. Dual essence. I like that. I don't think that's a word, but it works for me. If it's not your turn, you may play non-attack action cards with blue color strips from your arsenal, as if they were an instant. Whenever you play an ice card during an opponent's turn, create a Frostbite token under their control. That's the scary part to me, right? So wizards playing stuff on your opponent's turn, that's nothing new. Being able to do it for free if it's blue pitch, aka the lowest, I shouldn't say necessarily lowest efficiency, but lowest impact, right? I mean, that's the definition of blues, right? Is that it has the lowest cost curve impact because it can produce more resources. We all get that. But saying it's the lowest efficiency is probably not true. But, so you're a little limited there that you can't necessarily swing for the skies. But she can still do some pretty nasty stuff, right? I mean, Stir Forked is like Wizard 101, right? And you can Stir Forked as long as it's Blue Stir, right? You can Blue Stir Forked on your opponent's turn for no additional cost, right? You don't have to pitch to Kano. You don't have to do anything crazy. You just got to make sure that you get a card in your arsenal. And as long as you're playing on our turn, I think it's going to work out for you. So she has all the wizard stuff at her disposal. Plus whatever the heck else is going to come in this next set. I mean, one has to imagine you're probably going to get some sort of ice spell. Maybe, right? I mean, I don't think it's too far out of the realm, or at least some elemental. Because ice things next in the conversation. But we're at least going to get some elemental spells. I mean, I think it would follow. But we'll see. But we'll see. But even so, throwing all that out the window, today I wanted to put her in context of just what we have today, because that's all we have to evaluate with, and really explain, she can do wizard things, which in of itself is scary, right? Yeah, I mean, it is, right? Because wizard is one of those classes, to be honest, kind of like ranger. I mean, just stick with me. In that, they're either going to be bad, they're going to be below, or they're going to be way too good. Like, I think wizard's one of those classes can be very hard to balance. And they're basically, the class basically exists there almost as like, I mean, you saw that Wizard was doing really well against like Cheerios Briar for obvious reasons. So I think the class almost exists as like a safety valve. And that's one of those things where, like, it makes them very hard to gauge right, because if you get them a little too good, they can be super good, right? So that's why Wizard in of itself is scary, and the fact that she can do all the Wizard things. She can do most of the Wizard things, right? Most of the Wizard things, because she doesn't have the spec. She can do most of the Wizard things with a bonus on the control side. That's where I'm scared, right? That's where I'm worried about things will go, right? So for those, again, I don't want, the stir fork combo, we already talked about that. You guys know how the Wizard combo works. I don't really need to go through that. You guys know that way better than I do, because I'm not a Wizard guy. I know how to block arcane damage, but that's about it, right? So her ability, that second ability there, whenever you play an ice card, well, the fact that you can do a non-attack as an instant, and then whenever you play an ice card, you poop out a frostbite, is very, very scary from a frostbite control standpoint, right? So frostbite control to date, you have, for the most part, known what you're dealing with when you go into your turn, right? And that's where Isylander messes that all up, right? She messes it all up because she can play cards in response to you playing cards, right? So what I'm showing across the screen right now is kind of just a classic example we came up with, right? You've got your Tectonic, you're playing Bravo, you've got your Tectonic out. It's time to do a dominated crippling crush, and you're just going to destroy some people. Well, she's got Channel Lake Frigid in her arsenal. Pop that down, right? So, because remember, you can respond to things in the chain, right? And that's where she's really going to get very, very disruptive, be the master of disruption. Because your opponent can react to, in this case, your Bravo, right? So if you pay the 2 to do the Bravo thing, she can pop that, and you better have budgeted for the extra resources. Otherwise, you're just not going to be able to afford to play your card, and your turn stops right there. And sure, then maybe you arsenal your Crippling Crush, maybe it was already in your arsenal, whatever it may be you guys are following. But you have to make sure you've budgeted correctly, and sometimes you're just not going to be able to budget correctly. That's just the way it's going to be, right? So, this is not super heavy combo. You guys get the response. They've just got it sitting there, because remember, they're playing on our turn. So they're going to stick that in their arsenal and wait for you to do your thing, okay? So it's something similar, and to a certain extent, and I know it's not exactly a one-to-one, but to a certain extent, I view her ability to be very similar to like an Arclight Sentinel to some degree, right? And I know it's not exactly one-to-one, but functionally you guys understand that the point is to really disrupt those combos, right? So what I wanted to do was kind of go directly to the Courage of Bladehold, which was the example I used in the Wayback Machine for Arclight Sentinel. You can respond to them popping, right? You respond to them popping. In this case, maybe even you want to respond to Lumina. Actually, that is, I drew the Frostbite popping in between Courage and Lumina here. But the point is here, you want to disrupt their combo, right? So what they do when they pop Courage is they're looking for a free turn, right? So what you want to do is disrupt that and make sure that they don't have the resources that they need to pay for what they want to do, right? If you throw an additional 2 costs, for example, on the Boltyn Saber's turn, they're running pretty lean, going for free stabs. They may not be able to do it, and in that case, you just cost them their combo, right? So Boltyn Sabers is pretty sad against Isylander, and Islander's going to set up knowing that they're going off on their combo. And yeah, so and again, this isn't like the one move. It's one of many moves, right? It all fits into the same, but it's pretty scary in terms of it's kind of the next step, next iteration in Frostbite control. And remember, she still has access. She has a Heart of Ice, probably. She looks like she does, right? She can play that. She's got the tools. She's got the tools. And let's not forget that you can effectively, right? We have Blizzard as well, like something like a Cheerios Briar deck. Yes, I do realize the errata just came out, but it's something like a Cheerios Briar deck, or a Benji deck, or maybe even a Katsu deck, or whatever it might be. A Blizzard coming down. Well, and by Katsu, you'd have to do it on the action cards and not the Kodachis, right, for this. But you respond to the action. And remember, you get, as per the ruling that went in, basically for snag, right, back in the day, when the card comes down, you can respond to the card coming down before it resolves, right? So when Scar, for example, comes down and say they have less health than you, they would get go again on that, but you could respond. And again, I'm just using Scar as a simple example here. When the card comes down, you can take away its go again. And if they're playing something like a Cheerios, are they going to have 2 pitch to afford that to keep their chain going? The chances are no. So again, three really simple cases here, but the level of disruption that she's going to be able to bring to the Blitz format, at least, right? At least the level of disruption she's going to be able to bring is high. And something else about her, right? I mean, you know, we can do speculation and shooting down all we want on adult versus young and the naming conventions, but she's just Isylander, so you could very easily have Isylander Master Disruptor, right? Or, I mean, that's what it is in my head right now. She could very easily exist as an adult version. Probably not in this set, given that this card's a Majestic, but probably could happen. Probably will happen in the future, assuming she's not busted, right? That's one of the great things they get to do with releasing all these Blitz heroes. They kind of get to test the waters, and then they can adventure forth. So anyway, that's pretty much it for today. I just kind of wanted to run down why I think she's going to be really good. I do. I think she's going to be really good being able to do kind of the wizard thing and mix in that control so she can pop off her combos. And she's scary. So let me know, are you excited about her? I mean, I think everybody's functionally excited about new stuff, but are you excited to play her? Are you looking to play her? Is she the hero you were waiting for, right? If you were waiting for the wizard, was she the hero that you've been waiting for? So let me know, what other combos are you looking forward to? What other crazy stuff? Better start run out, because remember, Arcane Rising's out of print. Better go run out and get all those wizard tools you need. They're probably, I haven't looked, but they're probably going up in price. Probably are. Because I imagine there's a fair amount of people, but then again, maybe those people already had what they needed for Kano. So that's fair. So anyway, let me know what you guys are thinking. Thank you very much for tuning in. Stay frosty, my friends, and go Commando.